Hi guys, and welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for tuning in to watch this channel. I'm Tony, and today's pick a card reading question is, what are they thinking and feeling? So you might be in a long-term committed relationship with somebody. It could be short-term, or it might be somebody who you've only met a few times or who you know, and it's really just not clear as to where things are going, and you want to know how they think and how they feel across the board in all of those categories. So what we're going to do today is break down the profile of that particular person, and we're going to look at how they're thinking, feeling, and experiencing the idea of a relationship or a connection with you. So we're not just going to look at that, we're going to look at their circumstances and their values and any other influences that might have an impact on this connection with the both of you. So before we get started, if you'd like to go down below and hit subscribe, you can tap on the bell icon while you're there. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And like and share this video where you can. That'd be great to get me out there. If you would like to get more information on my services as a psychic tarot reader, you can also go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. So I like to get things started with a bit of a guided meditation. So if you get your feet firmly on the ground, whether you're sitting or whether you're standing, and taking in a nice deep breath. Releasing the breath and letting go of any tension that you might be holding from within. Drawing in another nice deep breath. And as you let that go, clearing the mind. And another deep breath in, thinking about the question, what are they thinking and feeling? And release the breath. Drawing your attention back to the screen before you. Each of the different cards here has a different stone representing the card. Which of these cards has the strongest resonance for you? Is it card number 1 with the black obsidian? Card number 2 with the rose quartz? Card number 3 with the hematite? Or card number 4 with the green fluorite? Down below, 4 different timestamps representing each of the different cards here before you. If you would like to go to the card that you chose, I'll be with you in a moment. Hi guys, this is card number 1. So if you chose the black obsidian for card number 1, then this is the reading for you. And we've got quite a lot to get into here. Let's get the cards out on the table. We have Justice, 6 of Wands, Judgment, King of Cups, the Devil, 3 of Wands, Temperance, Knight of Wands, Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Heal. Confront. So today we're working with the Rider-Waite deck, tarot deck, the John Holland Psychic Tarot of the Heart, and the Angel Oracle cards, relationship Oracle cards. So the first cards that I'm drawn to are Judgment and the King of Cups. This person is incredibly sensitive. And when I say sensitive, they're very sensitive about people, very sensitive about life. I think this is quite a shy person. They're certainly very backwards in going forwards. I don't think they have the confidence really to be too forward really in terms of what they want to say. I think they're quite reserved, and I think when it comes to the emotional self, there's really a tight kind of a tight cap on that. There's a tendency to really keep how they feel very, very close to their they keep their hand close to themselves. They don't really give a lot away. Very hard to read in that respect. This is a person who's really quite uncomfortable with their emotional self. I think they're a very emotionally mature person, don't get me wrong. I actually think, if anything, they're incredibly emotionally mature, very sensitive to other people's needs, really psyched in at a kind of healing level as well. I think they give a lot in terms of themselves to other people. I think this is somebody who you can rely on. You know, if the chips are down, this is somebody that you can turn to. They'll be there for you. Very beautiful person in terms of their overall nature. Very, very sensitive, maybe artistically inspired, perhaps also a bit of a healer. But once again, you know, they keep a very kind of very much at arm's length from disclosing how they really feel. So it can be quite hard to read. But I feel that this person is at a real crossroads in terms of you, and they're really not able to express how they really feel. And that this is a time where I feel that the stakes are quite high. I feel, well, the King of Cups is certainly somebody, it's symbolic of somebody who is who is a very evolved partner. And this could be somebody that you're married to. It could be somebody who you're in a relationship with, but the feelings are very well developed. This person loves you very deeply. And if it's not somebody who you know really well, or you're looking at this person from a distance, there's certainly somebody who really has their eye on you and really feels the heartbeat skip when they see you. Very keen. They know what they like. They know what they want in terms of the emotional self, in terms of the emotional commitment. But there's something quite heavy about what's going on here. And I feel that there is something in the mix here that's really caught them off guard, perhaps, certainly brought them to a point where they feel they really need to make some decisions about where things are moving forward in terms of the connection to you as a person. Now, something's triggered in this person. And before I jump into what that means, I want to come down to here. This is Temperance and the Knight of Wands. I kind of feel this really symbolizes who you are as a person. I feel that you are a very outgoing person. You really like to be quite adventurous. I think you really feel very connected to this person. I think that you have other things going on for you at this point in your life. Perhaps you've got a new work opportunity. Yeah. The Wands are very much about work, and the Knight of Wands is very much about a work opportunity taking off. Perhaps a work opportunity has taken off for you, and it's coupled with Temperance, and Temperance can be a card of travel. Perhaps you're going to be traveling away somewhere on a regular basis. Maybe it's just as simple as you've decided to go away on a holiday somewhere, that you decided to travel overseas, to go on an adventure. It could be a combination of those things as well, but also your nature is very outgoing. You know, you're sort of quite the opposite to this person. You really, you don't hold back. And I think you really want a partner in crime as well, in terms of a relationship where you can grab that other person's hand and go, you know what, let's just take a risk. Let's go and do something really inspirational and, in the moment. And this person's much more reserved. As I said right at the beginning, backwards and going forwards, they take quite a long time to come around to the idea of moving forward on anything, including the idea of perhaps traveling somewhere. But I feel that this sort of, the circumstances that you're in has somehow had a major impact on how this person feels. And if we come over here to the Devil and the Three of Wands, the Devil is a card of restriction, of holding back. The Three of Wands is very much about a card of exploration, opening up into work and its new boundaries, perhaps work moving to overseas. And perhaps this person feels very hesitant about where things are going, given your circumstances seem to be very much, in a takeoff kind of trajectory, that's really, you're in a really catalytic kind of period of your life where things are really taking off and moving forward. And this person, I think, has been caught by surprise a little bit as to where it's all going. Perhaps they feel that you're heading in a slightly different direction, and they're very, very worried about what that means in terms of, the new horizons, and so the Three of Wands is really about new horizons, especially with work. But in combination with the Devil, I think this person just feels really uncomfortable about, where it might all go. Perhaps they feel it's really risky, that it might become really uncomfortable in terms of a dynamic with you. And it's brought them to this real crossroads. They're sort of saying, I need to make decisions about where this is all going. I'm weighing all of this up on a kind of really big picture level. And for them, I think they really want, justice and the Six of Wands. I think they're making decisions, fair and just decisions about the direction of this potential connection with you, that they really want to kind of move in a successful, I suppose, direction. The Six of Wands is a card of success, but it's also a card of work opportunities that have, it's often a new job, really. And so I think they're making decisions around the direction that you're going. They really want to be with you. They can see why you would want to go off in the direction that you're going, to enjoy the rewards that are being granted to you, the acknowledgement that you're perhaps that this is generated for you by peers, by friends, by family. They don't want to rain on your parade, but at the same time, this person is saying, I feel that you're my soulmate. And I think that you feel that as well. I think the connection between the two of you is very, very, very strong. But you're not bound by a relationship. You are your own person. You want to have the connection, but you also want the freedom to go and do what you want to do. And this person is much, much more about the kind of micromanagement of the intimacy and the emotional nature of a relationship. They really, really want that kind of closeness, but, they're also uncomfortable about it. I think this presses a lot of buttons for them. And a lot of what this is about is them having to confront themselves. Now, why are they having to confront themselves? Because it brings up a lot of issues. It brings up a lot of insecurities. The devil is a card of insecurity. It brings up concerns about them in terms of their shadow self. And their shadow self feels really fearful about what's going on. It's a time for them to face what that fear really means, because the fear has a really powerful effect on them, and it prevents the relationship or the idea of the connection between the two of you from moving forwards. And so in that sense, they really need to sort of explore these misconceptions, because they are misconceptions that are based on past experiences, often from childhood. This person needs to do some healing. Their buttons are being pushed about life moving forward in a way where they don't have control over it, okay? This person does like to be in control. They really do, as I said to you before, especially on an emotional level. So I think there's a tendency to kind of react really badly about what's going on at a surface level. So there's a lot of blame and a lot of resentment, and it really makes things quite heavy. And they need to forgive. They need to forgive themselves, about what it is that's going on. They need to forgive you. They need to know that people aren't perfect as well. So maybe you've been having a bit of a fallout. Maybe, this person is just taking the wrong idea and running with it continuously, reacting at an emotional level that really is very difficult to work with, because they're not really giving you the full picture in terms of how they really feel. But I feel that they have come to a crucial point where they really need to make some decisions about what they really want with you, by being honest with you. They really love you. They feel really connected to you. They feel compelled to have a relationship with you, but they're very fearful about moving forwards, and they're very insecure based on a lot of experiences that have happened way back to the past in their childhood. And I feel that a lot of this is to do with abandonment. Abandonment, the idea of you moving away and doing your own thing, or traveling, or being out and about in a kind of much more free and independent way, is something that really confronts this person, because they don't have control over it, and they feel that you will leave them. So I've got to say, just before we wrap this up, that you've been a very big healing influence on this person. This person needs a lot of healing. They need a lot of love. They need a lot of compassion, and they need a lot of honesty. This person is moving into a healing episode here. I think that they will actually come to a point where they need to confront these issues, but perhaps this is an opportunity for you to help them by guiding them forward on their journey. There's a lot going on here, a lot of positives, but at the same time, this person needs to step up and really take responsibility by addressing what's been going on at a much deeper shadow self level, okay? Abandonment is the issue here for them, and they need to explore what that really means. And I think that you're the person that they can do that with. Okay, guys, I hope this reading has actually made some sense to you. If it has, please leave comments below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Hit like, subscribe, tap on the bell icon to get notifications for any future readings that I post. Like and share this video where you can. And if you want any further information on me as a tarot reader, you can go to my website, www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Thank you. Hi guys, this is card number 2. So if you chose the rose quartz for card number 2, then this is the reading for you. So let's get straight into it, get the cards out on the table and see what we have. We have the Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Cups, the Devil, Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, and the 2 of Wands. The Fool, King of Cups, sorry, Knight of Cups, not King. We have You Deserve Love, You Are Lovable, Teach, and Feeling Alone. I feel this person, I'm just drawn straight over here to the Devil and the Queen of Cups. I feel this person has a really tight focus on you. It's as though it's a little bit obsessive. It's coming from the right place on one level. I think this person really feels a strong connection to you. They feel very much in love with you. If this is somebody who you're not in a kind of fully developed relationship with, they're certainly really focused on you for all of the right reasons. However, it's just become a little bit sort of, I guess, a little bit sticky, a little bit, maybe just a little bit full on for you. It's like there's a neediness about this person, you know. They really want this relationship to be involved in a way where you're really together. I think there's a lot of sexual energy here with this person. I think that they might be a little bit needy in bed. it's like sort of maybe constantly sort of wanting to have sex. I think it's very sexually charged from their side. And I also feel that this person really wants to sort of move into, you know, like a future with you in terms of having a relationship. Yeah. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune and the 2 of Cups, it's you know, the Wheel of Fortune is about, you know, a new phase in your life, taking a chance, rolling the dice. I think they really want to roll the dice with you and have a more sort of fully formed relationship where you're both on the same page. But the reality is that this person doesn't feel that they are on the same page. There is a neediness, a sort of like a burning desire to be with you. And that desire burns because they don't have you exactly where they want you to be or to have the relationship in the way that they want to be having it with you. And you have to ask a question of why would that be? And if I look to you, I have the Fool and the Knight of Cups, and I feel that your energy is somewhat different, you know, much more aloof, a bit more disconnected. I think you're a person who really needs to have your own space. I think you're a very sociable person. I think you'd like to be out there, meeting friends, being out and about with people, meeting new people. I think you're quite flirty as well. I think you like that sort of validation. I think you like to be out in the mix with people, feeling good about yourself, mixing it all up with you know, all sorts of people. And that doesn't mean to say that you're looking for love somewhere else. Although perhaps, you know, there could be a scenario here where you have met other people that you fancy in some way. But I get a sense that may be more to do with the fact that this person that we're talking about here is really is just a little bit overwhelming, you know, a little bit too needy. And at times they can be really suffocating in a way where you sort of feel you just need some space. You know, you just kind of want to go out, be on your own, do your own thing, and not be so, I guess, closed down from an energetic point of view, but also suffocated, from a relationship point of view. Now, we have to look at why this person is feeling that. And before we actually jump into that, I want to come up here to the Hierophant and to the Two of Wands. The Hierophant is a card about marriage and commitment. Traditionally it's the church, but in the context of a relationship, in terms of moving forward, I feel that this person really wants to make that commitment to you. But the Two of Wands is a card of, well, it's a postured card that looks outwardly into the world. So it has a contemplative nature to it. It's a card of action, but it's not a card of doing. It's really, so this person is thinking, contemplating about the idea of marriage. I think they would project into a future of wanting to really kind of take the world with you in hand in terms of a more formal commitment, but that's not manifesting, that's not actually being put into action. Because they feel so focused on you, it pushes a lot of buttons for them. They feel really uncomfortable about the fact that they don't have this more developed relationship that really fits what they would like to have in terms of moving into a traditional commitment. This person is feeling really unlovable, okay? I think there's some issues here, and I think that they, before we go over here, I think we'll come over here to feeling alone and you deserve love. They're kind of saying the same thing, but feeling alone, this is really about a person who feels abandoned. They feel lonely. They feel isolated. They don't seem to sort of have a great deal of confidence, and that makes them very, very, very insecure. I think the insecurity is very much about what their desire is, and their desire is unattainable. And the desire is you. I think they feel that you are somehow not going to kind of fulfill the true sort of nature of what they really want. And a big part of that is because of the kind of person that you are. You're sort of really out there, meeting people, being yourself. You like a bit of space. I think also for you, I think you're wanting just to kind of take it one step at a time. You're happy just to kind of go with the flow. You feel really good with this person, but at the same time, hey, I don't really want to sort of, kind of take it to that next level where it gets really weighted down with too much commitment, and, it starts to pull me back in terms of a more sort of formalized relationship. So you're really both in very, very different places. And I think that you're both having different experiences, different expectations. And there is an absolute power imbalance here. And because you are very much your own person doing your own thing on your own path, and this person is wanting to sort of pin things down to have a much more, secure, developed relationship that really formalizes into something that's a little bit more static and predictable, with certain boundaries, that's actually starting to make it a little bit a little bit difficult. What's going on here with Teach? Teach is a card of opportunities to learn. And, this is a person who is at a point where they really need to get some sort of external support. Support perhaps in terms of somebody being able to guide them through the process of really managing their expectations, their desires, and the ideas about what this is as a relationship. So it's an opportunity for them to sort of, be shepherded by somebody who has the ability to really guide them through. But essentially what they really need to do is let go. They need to let you go. They need to let go of this idea, this desire to really pin you down, or pin down the relationship, pin down the idea of working towards something that's more formally committed. And they really need to turn that focus away from you and really turn it inwardly to themselves. And it brings us to the card, you deserve love. You are lovable. This person needs to really put themselves first in terms of understanding that, yes, they need to let you go, but they also need to let all of this go and look at themselves and say, hey, I am lovable. they need to validate themselves by saying, there's nothing wrong with me, that I am desirable, I am lovable, and that I deserve the relationship that I want, and that this will come to me in in good time. I feel that if this person just let go a little bit more and gave you the space that you need, and then really sort of switched that focus over into something that was more constructive beyond this idea of you, that they could really capture your attention and your heart in a way that really put you both on the same page. But at the moment, that's not where things are. And I think there's an opportunity for you to step in and to provide some guidance for them in terms of moving forward. Perhaps give them feedback on what's really going on. Be honest with them and let them into your world in a way that gives them constructive feedback and helps them to focus more healthily in terms of the next steps of where things are going, potentially in this relationship. Okay, guys, look, I hope this has made some sense to you, and if it has, please leave your comments and feedback down below. Share and like this video where you can. Hit subscribe and tap on the bell icon if you'd like to receive notifications for future readings that I post. And if you would like some more information on the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, please go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Okay, thank you very much. Hi guys, this is card number 3. So if you chose card number 3 with the hematite, then this is the reading for you. So let's get the cards straight out on the table and have a look and see what's going on. We have the Hierophant. Let me just get that in the corner there. The Two of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Swords. The Fool, 8 of Cups, the Tower, 10 of Swords, Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here, Choose Your Battles, Joy and Stability. And I'm drawn straight to the center here with the Wheel of Fortune and Queen of Swords. And we're trying to understand how this person is thinking and feeling. They're very much in their head. Highly rational person, strong thinker, very intelligent, very perceptive about what's going on. Highly analytical, really, really strong kind of analytical process that really maps out things very clearly and concisely. This is a person who really feels a lot of pain, though. I feel that they have come through an experience recently that has caused them to feel that they want to cut away, that they want to move on, go in their own direction. And a lot of that is born out of this pain and suffering that they've been experiencing. If I come down here to the Tower and the 10 of Swords, I feel these are two cards that reflect your experience. I feel like there's something that's happened between the two of you that has really left things to come undone in a way where there's a lot of instability between the two of you, and I feel that you're feeling really like this is the end. This is the end of the road. I get this sense that you're feeling very crushed, and it's been a successive number of experiences accumulatively that have really kind of crescendoed in this sort of quite magnificent, fallout. It's been very dramatic. I feel like there's been a lot of drama going on, a lot of fighting, a lot of pain, and a lot of suffering between the two of you. And I feel like you've given up. I feel like you're saying to yourself, look, I've got no will to go on with this anymore. I don't have the energy, Now, that strikes a really sharp chord in me. And the reason why is because the Hierophant and the Two of Pentacles, these are cards of commitment. I feel the Two of Pentacles is very much about a card of magnetic attraction. which is combated here. Chemistry. There's a chemistry between the two of you. You two have so much in common. You're very similar to each other. Gosh, there's no doubt about that. You have a lot in common. You share a lot of similar experiences, maybe very similar backgrounds, very similar aspirations. The two of you have come together in a way where you've been able to realize certain opportunities that you just couldn't do independently. But this attraction is no getting away from that. You know, you orbit very tightly in terms of the energy that you share between the two of you. And the Hierophant is a card of commitment. It's a card of marriage. Maybe this is a marriage that has really been a very beautiful thing, in as much as it feels very natural and right to be together, and there is no question as to making that kind of commitment for the future. And, you know, in the past, I feel like this is a strong, if you aren't married, I kind of feel perhaps that you were looking at getting married even. But this fallout has happened, and, you know, this person feels that they want to move on. You know, the Fool and the Eight of Cups, they feel something has happened. There's something missing here. There's something missing perhaps in the relationship, or there's something missing in their life. Maybe there's something missing in their life, and they feel that the Fool is a card of new beginnings, about a road less traveled. It's an independent card. It's a free thinking card. It's experiencing inspiration, moving forward in life in a way where you're not worried or bogged down by anything that holds you back. You know, and the Eight of Cups is a card of moving forward on your own journey. So that's quite a difficult thing to come to grips with, that somebody might feel that they want to move on. And there's no doubt at the same time that there is this very strong magnetic attraction. So what's going on here? I think choose your battles. This is a very interesting card, because this person asserts their convictions very strongly. They have very strong beliefs, very strong opinions, and they can clash very easily if you're not on the same page. I also feel that this is the kind of person that's going to make a really strong stand. They feel very strong about what they believe in, but it's also a person that would only make that stand if they really felt that it was for the best interests of all. I don't feel this is a person that's being selfish. They're not just thinking about themselves. They're thinking about you and them and the circumstances around you very compassionately. This is a person who knows pain. They've experienced suffering. They're not insensitive to you and to what you feel and to how things have been. They have been acutely aware of what that's all about. They have a history of pain, a history of suffering. They know it. And I also feel that the two of you are so similar that perhaps even you are also very much like this. You also have strong beliefs, strong opinions. You know, you also assert your convictions in a very strong, powerful way. You know, the two of you are a definite force to be reckoned with when you come together. And it's very easy for the both of you to misread each other. Yeah, because neither one of you wants to pull back, take a breath, and actually breathe in what's going on. There's a tendency to fire up on all pistons and to charge straight ahead and to try and be heard, really. Sometimes it can get a bit soapboxy as well. You know, like sometimes there's a definite sort of like, you know, wanting to be heard, to justify yourself. The both of you, I think, are as bad as each other in that respect. So what's going on here? Joy and stability coming into this card now. We're having a look at this. Joy and stability, you know, there's no doubt that the connection between the two of you is very strong. It's a magnetic attraction. My sense is that this is a person who feels happy with you. They you know, they feel. I think when they're actually able to communicate and feel through what they're actually saying and feeling through what's going on with you, you know, it brings them back into their body, because they really do live very much in the mental sphere. You know, they kind of, sometimes there's a real disconnect from the heart and the body, okay? The heart and the physical self, the emotions and the physical self. There's sort of, I think when they become defensive, they come over analytical, they retreat into their mind, it becomes all about the rhetoric and, you know, their opinions, etc., as I've already described. I think when they feel things through and they communicate in that kind of fashion where it's a little bit more holistic, they're able to sort of increase stability and warmth between the two of you. You know, like they kind of tap back into the heart and the physical self and bring themselves back down into the actual experience of what's going on. But in order to do that, this person also needs to have the time. This is a person who needs time out, right? And I think they enjoy their own company. They're actually quite fiercely independent. They're not somebody who can be too touchy-feely for too much of the time. I think this is somebody who likes to retreat, you know, into either a study or into their own kind of personal world and really experience things in their own time, in their own way. They like to thrash things out, and you know, so I really do feel that this is somebody who needs to sort of reevaluate or at least evaluate what's been going on between the two of you. And that, you know, in order for them to do that, they kind of need some time out and time away, perhaps to go away somewhere. And that would give them the opportunity to kind of renew themselves and perhaps also renew the perspective of this potential relationship or relationship if it's an involved relationship. And that would also give them time to kind of just let things go. So that it's not all about just the desire to be heard and the desire to win a fight, you know? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel you're going to get away from each other. I don't feel that this is over. And I feel as dramatic and as painful as this has been for the both of you, that the law of chemistry, the law of nature, the law of magnetic attraction will prevail, and the two of you will come back into each other's orbits in a way where this will all blow over and come back into balance, really. You know, when you are in that place, the joy and the stability is just, it prevails in a beautiful way. I'm not in any way downplaying what's been going on, because I think it's actually been quite dramatic, and I think that there is some healing that needs to take place. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, the both of you need to kind of simmer down and really get back into your bodies, get back into your emotional selves, let things calibrate with some time so that it rebalances, let each other have their own process so that you can come back in a stronger way. I mean, I hope this has made some sense to you and that it's helped in some way. And if it has, please leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. And like and share this video where you can. That would be wonderful. Also, if you are interested in my services as a psychic tarot reader, please contact me on www.tonyfoxtarot.com. And lots of information there that you can actually have a look at. Also, while you're down below, hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And like and share this video. That'd be great. That'd be great. Take care. Thank you very much. Hi guys, this is card number 4. If you chose the green fluorite with card number 4, then this is the reading for you. Let's hop straight to it and get the cards out on the table. So we have Temperance, Queen of Cups, Death, Four of Pentacles, the Emperor, Six of Pentacles. Let's just get these a little bit more centered. Don't worry about death whenever it comes up in a reading. It's never literal, really. It's especially, it's always in the context of the question, really. We'll get to the meaning of it in just a moment. Some people get very frightened by the card, but there's really nothing to be alarmed about here. The Lovers, Five of Swords, Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Change your focus. And success and growth. Drawn here to the middle with death and the four of Pentacles. I feel like this is an ending linked to a new beginning. You know, this person has been through a very difficult transition in terms of the connection between the two of you. I feel like something's ended here, and it's ended very... I don't know if it's ended abruptly, but it certainly ended with a lot of difficulty in terms of this person trying to come to terms with what it is that's happened. I feel they've really struggled to sort of to get back up on their feet, and they're in a position now where they're really trying to sort of consolidate where they're at in light of the experience. But it's certainly kicked up a lot of dust for them, and I think that it's had a major impact on every aspect of their life. And the reason why I feel that is because if I come over here to Temperance and the Queen of Cups, this person's been totally head over heels with you, in either in love with you, or at least they feel really deeply connected to you at a heart level. I think they've been very focused on the connection between the two of you in a very loving way. I think this person feels very, very deeply about you in a way where they don't want to let you go, and they haven't wanted to lose you. But I feel that this has come to a point where there has been some sort of difficulty between the two of you that's been irreconcilable. And this has caused this person to react I also think quite harshly. I think they've really, battened down the hatches. You know, I think they've responded quite selfishly in some ways. The Four of Pentacles is a card of consolidation on a financial level, but it's also a card of closing down the energy systems, really. It's closing down the chakras, closing down the physical self, closing down everything in relation to you. I think that they've really just kind of found this situation very difficult to deal with, and the only way they've known how to sort of to cope with it is to get back to who it is that they are, in a sense that they've just had to take care of themselves first. I think there's been a lot to lose because of how they feel, obviously. If we come over here to the Emperor and the Six of Pentacles, I think this kind of harshness or sternness comes through once again with the Emperor, because the Emperor is a card that is really, it's the father of tarot, but it's kind of in a very traditional sense. It's really you know, an individual that's motivated by rules and regulations, and really following those in a way where they're very strict, and you know, it risks kind of, well, actually the irony in it is it kind of like it goes from the opposite end of what we have down here, which is loving, compassionate, heartfelt, you know, to a person who's become very divorced from that, and really has just kind of become very cold and distant and methodical in their approach to sort of deal with you in many ways. I wonder if there's also been a relationship here that involves money or assets or some sort of kind of, I guess, you know, shared wealth or possessions. I feel that this person's perhaps actually jumped in and just taken control of all of that and really closed down on you in a way where they've taken everything away from you. But that could also mean that they've taken away everything from you that they can as a reaction to what's happened. You know, therefore, you know, shutting down is taking something away from you, shutting down their emotions, shutting down lines of communication, just thinking about themselves, divorcing themselves from you in a way where if they have to deal with you, it's just kind of throwing you a line of you know, bare bones sort of necessity, you know, communications or whatever it is that you really need from them, in a way where they want to be in control. You know, the Emperor is all about control. The Emperor wants to sort of to rule his kingdom. And this is a person who is really consolidating and standing on their own 2 feet and not thinking about other people. So I think they've come out of this situation in a very selfish, narrow, perhaps almost nihilistic, very material view of just trying to take back what they can because they're really hurt, okay? And how do I know that they're hurt? Because if I come down here to change your focus, This is a card of enormous disappointment and sadness. It's about loss, or the loss of romance, or a failed romance. This person feels that they have no support, which is why they have to stand on their own 2 feet. But they do regret. I mean, this is a card of also regret of decisions that they've made. They're now entering into a process where they're beginning to see what it is that they've done, the way they've responded to you, after how they really feel about you. And they're beginning to regret some of the decisions that they've made. They feel very disappointed that the relationship didn't turn out as expected. And they feel very hurt and upset by this. But I have to be honest with you. I think this is a new phase in this individual's life also, because change of focus is a time to focus on the positives in life. It's an indication of growth and changing the focus from negative into positive. So it indicates there is a degree of healing going on here. I think another card that's very important also is we take ourselves over here to success and growth. And this is a card where it really brings the person back into the heart. It begins to focus back into the heart level. It's an indication of a time of successful resolution. That's really the underscore of this particular card. Very important in the context of what we're seeing here. And it's really about gaining fresh perspective and positive light, which kind of comes on the back of what I've just said here with this new positivity found in change your focus. So we're really entering into a new period of beginning to sort of eliminate the old ways of thinking, which have actually taken this person up to this point. Now, I think that that's really positive, because not only will it give this person a greater degree of understanding about what's going on, it will help to sort of refresh lines of communication between the two of you. Now, I'm not saying that I know what's going on here. I can see an ending linked to a new beginning and somebody really closing down and acting quite selfishly. But you have to look at why that is, and that is because they feel very in love with you still. That hasn't changed. This person feels very, very attached to you. I'm going to come over here to the Lovers and the Five of Swords, which is a card that really, these are 2 cards that reflect who it is that you are as a person. And I feel that yes, you've had a lot of love for this person, but this seems to me that there's obviously been a lot of fighting going on here, and it's been really nasty. Yeah, it hasn't been healthy at all. It's been quite toxic. And so the relationship in your eyes has been a very difficult one to deal with, because you feel either that you've been on the end, you've been on the receiving end of some very nasty, pointed, sort of toxic energy or behavior, or it could be the other way around. It might be that you've been that way to that particular person. Now, I think that in any case, you really do still feel very much connected to them in a way where I think perhaps you'd like to see if this is sort of. I think in some ways I think you'd like to see if this has some sort of possible redemption. But I think at the moment, it's still too toxic for you. I think this person has come out of this in a very hurt way that has left them looking really bad. And, for you at the moment, it's really about sort of making decisions to sort of get away from all of that kind of stuff, And that brings us really to heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. I think really, ultimately, this is where the whole sort of thrust of this particular reading is going, because, resolution is only going to take place, the conflict will only begin to resolve when you both open up lines of heartfelt communication, when you get back into your bodies and back into the heart space and out of this headspace of conflict and, point scoring and trying to sort of get the last word in is really what I feel this is about. And I think this person has been very successful in doing that. And I can understand why that would actually leave a very bitter taste perhaps in your mouth. But I feel that this person is not going to change how they really feel at a heartfelt level overnight. And they're going through a healing process, which is very important. So I do feel that they're getting to a place where they will be able to regain some sense of balance in order to be able to begin to really communicate with you at a heartfelt level. And in this time, it will also give you a period of healing, and a perspective about what you want as a fresh new beginning in terms of moving forward in light of what's happened. Listen, I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, please leave some comments below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share the video where you can. If you want to subscribe, please do that down below and hit the bell icon, because that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, then you could contact me at www.tonyfoxtarot.com. You'll get plenty of information there. Otherwise, hope this has given you some sort of constructive perspective, and take care. Thank you.